99.3 Nigeria Info, Lagos. Good morning to you. Welcome to the second part of Dailies today. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Jimi Disu.
Righty, so let's begin. We're going to start with the story here on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. That's where we're starting from. Muhammadu Babangida denies rejecting Tinabus BOA appointment.
Yes, there's not much to this story, really. Muhammad Babangida was appointed chairman of the Nigeria Bank of Agriculture. I hope I got that right. And somehow it went viral yesterday, convincingly, that he turned it down. And for an hour or two, it was trending, and it brought a new dimension to the discussion in politics. My big brother, breaking news, Erico, he first of all said that one too. It was so convincing, but almost a few minutes later, he then said the fact that Muhammad Babangida did not reject the appointment. So he's the substantive chairman of the Bank of Agriculture, and he has expressed deep gratitude to the president for the trust reposed in him. Babangida dismissed as false and malicious the report circulating online suggesting he had rejected the appointment, and he described the claim as a deliberate attempt to mislead the public and tarnish the image of the Tinubu administration. And so that ends it all. It ends it at that point, but now it opens another vista on another point that you got to be extremely careful what you see in the news, in the social media, and what you transmit to other people. We learn every day. I've learned this over time, to wait and see, because yesterday's one was very, very convincing, very convincing, and so that's it. So for sure, he is the chairman of the Bank of Agriculture. But then some new theories said that you sure that within that space of 30 minutes they haven't gone to beg him to retract the statement. I will not join in that discussion. All's well that ends well. He is the chairman of the Bank of Agriculture. Now you ask yourself, as a journalist, as somebody who likes to play pranks on your brain, if you had rejected, what would that mean? I leave you to answer that question. If you had said that, I don't want to be chairman, what would that mean? If that was what it was, we'll be talking a different thing today on front page, on the Dailies, what's it called now?
Dailies today.
Yes. But he is the chairman.
Righty. Let's move on to other stories. Now, from the Guardian to the Vanguard. Retired policemen protest poor pension welfare nationwide.
This is very, very unfortunate. I have it on good authority that this has been going on for 14 years. The police pensioners have been going on, but recently there's been an increase in the momentum. And yesterday they stormed the National Assembly, and they seek an exit from the CPS, whatever that is. The protest was in Edo, Plateau, Kwara, Taraba, Cross River, as IG denies opposing exit from CPS. If you don't oppose, why are they still there? Bottom line is the pension, apart from the welfare of the current, the pension of those gone past is horrible. The plight of the average policeman is horrible, and we could do a whole drory on that, but of course we don't have the time for all that. And it says that this demonstration was virtually nationwide. That is frightening. And the IG, it reports, met the protesting retirees and denies opposing exit from CPS. And in trying to prove that he had their case, it was something that he was working on. He said, even right now, I was just coming from a meeting with the NSA. Remember, the NSA himself is a retired policeman. The subject matter in the poor pension of retired officers. There are things we need to do to ensure your suffering in retirement is alleviated. He says, there are a number of things we have done, steps that have been taking the details of which I would not like to disclose with the press present. What are the press supposed to be? In your buruku newani. Are they the devil incarnate? If you've done something, say you've done it. The truth is he hasn't done anything. Why would you say because the press present? Are they your enemies? Is that the latest disease in town? Is it contagious? And he said that, but I'd like to assure you that we empathize with you and we are not folding our arms for 14 years. And then he says, we are doing a lot to ensure that something is done. Then in the typical public manner that, our top guns, politicians and elite and top officials say, he added an insult to it, a hidden insult. I just saw here. He said, he's saying this to people who have retired persons. That is the average. If we take the average of their ages, is at least 65. He says, don't allow the enemies of the police to use you. Who are the enemies of the police? The police are their own enemies. Why do we all make statements like this? Inspector General is saying, don't allow, he's telling 65-year-old whose pensions are horrible, whose conditions are horrendous. 40 years, nothing done. He's telling them, don't allow the enemies of the police to use you. It's very unfortunate. You're not talking to school children. You're not talking to school children. And look, the earlier the government faces this issue of what is going on, with the police specifically, the better. Because, imagine police going on. It has happened before in this country. In 89 or 90, police went on strike for about 3 days during a military government. And we know what really happened there. Because the plight of the retired policeman is something lying in wait for the present. That is, the present too should be concerned because they are still going to end up either 6 feet in the grave or they will end up in the same condition that these retired people are. Remember, some of these people were policemen on duty when they went on strike in 1990 during Babangida's time. I can't remember again. My mind is fuzzy. So it is something that they're coming to meet. It is very, very simple for any government. Find out how to make the lives of the police put their pension and water conditions in line with what we give the military. When we say the military, there are those who fought the Civil War, have been fighting for. Till today, they haven't gotten their money. Till today. One of them, Elder Adebayo, God bless his soul, he was Lance Corporal Adebayo. He died about 2 months ago, so a month ago, we had a memorial for him in this studio. After fighting for his pension, he died. And the truth is, sometimes, I said in recent times, I've been sympathetic towards the police. Last week, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, they were everywhere, every corner, begging for money. In Nigerian police, they were begging for money. Any inspector general who goes to bed and sleeps after seeing such a thing is not empathetic to his job or to the country. It is terrible. Terrible. I had to raise a campaign here about a month ago that if you see any policeman, just give them something.
Yeah.
And guess what? The rule about for you to know how much in tatters the police force is as we speak, the rule about escorts and so on has been violated with impunity. At least I had about 5 or 6 cases this weekend alone. And who are we going to blame? The head has to carry the can. He has to carry the can. If he doesn't want to carry the can, he has to do the needful. If he can't do the needful, your guess is as good as mine. The gentlemanly thing to do. His time has expired anyway, even albeit extended. And it was so bad yesterday that civilians now have joined the strike. Showore and his group also joined the strike at the demonstration yesterday against the police. It is sad. It is sad. This is what is after insulting them by telling them don't allow the enemies to use you. He went further to say, be suspicious of those who pretend to be on your side. They may not mean well for you. Abba. Why are you looking at me like that? Are you talking to school children? Enemies of police? When a man... So look, a retired ASP, for example, said, I'm receiving 22,000. Retired ASP. Another one, I was an ASP before I retired. Another one said, I'm receiving 18,000 currently. And I retired in 2010. That's another ASP. A protester said, after 35 years, I received only 20K. 20K. Don't let me say what is on my mind. But let's go on. I think that Sheriff, I think what we should do is we too would need to start a campaign to help our police. And if the police do us in, so be it. I think it's high time we some of us stepped in to salvage the police, because if there's a breakdown of law and order, it will not be pleasant at all. So all of us need to support a better welfare system and a better remuneration package for the police. The truth is, there seems to be a lot of corruption being buried in that police fund, whatever. And nobody is ready to dig it out. But it's up to the president. I'm sure he knows what to do. I don't see why the police pension should be ridiculous up to this point compared to the army, the air force, the customs, or or the civil defense or whatever. But then again, when I remember what happened and what is still happening to some of these soldiers that whose plight I've taken on almost for 5 years now, they haven't gotten their money. You remember Adebayo? All of them, four of them, one of them is gone.
Mm-hmm. They were here.
They were here. Yes.
It's pathetic, really. It's pathetic because, the police is very important. If we're talking about internal security, it appears that what the government would take, very seriously would be largely the Boko Haram of this world, terrorism and all of that. Meanwhile, the internal security situation is getting worse by the day. And who better handle the internal security other than the police, the men of the Nigerian police force? And the welfare of the police has always been on the front burner of public discourse every year. Still, we even had a public protest, a nationwide protest, because of the police.
Yes.
Disgraceful. And here we are again.
That is why it's so difficult. That's why the control, command and control of the police force has broken down. Yes, when the president said, when the IG said no more escorts, how wouldn't they'll go and do the escort work privately? I saw them, a few of them, they ran us off the road as usual. The car had no numbers. Some of the cars had numbers, but the numbers were then covered. So let's go there.
No, let me quickly just say this. So yesterday, I went to the mall. I was coming back, and one escort was driving in front of me
Yes.
very slowly, and I said, and I just honked, and I said, "Oga, kolo." I don't know why I was so pissed.
No, the
And the guy just quietly, he just moved aside, and I just passed.
let me
If you
explain.
want to go, go. Don't be causing traffic here.
You probably wonder what is the culture of covering numbers. Am I allowed to explain in 2 minutes?
Yes, you've explained that.
I've
Please
explained
do.
it. See, in the military, when you have a military vehicle, it has a number, then it has the rank of the soldier attached to the. So if it's a redneck, if it's a brigadier, it has the 1 star, whatever it is, the insignia, apart from the number.
Mhm.
Now, when the man is not in the car officially, you cover that rank to show that okay, it's not there. When it is in his full uniform, you exhibit the rank. It's part of his rank. That is habit that has turned now into a thick-headed elites. People of ridiculous backgrounds now make it a thing of authority to get the number of the number plate of the car and cover it. Isn't that stupid?
Even young ones.
Even young
that just
ones,
made some small change.
They got it from their dads. It's been on for a long time. They got it from their parents. How could you drive a car that is not registered? That is not identifiable. Tell me the other day, we don't even know what has happened to the case of the pastor. You remember? Pointed the gun and then was driving a car that didn't have any form of registration. If there's a number plate for delivery, the dealer's number plate is there. No car should be on the road without any form of registration. And tell you what, this idea that they think that maybe the Secret Service sometimes they use what they use, to the best of my knowledge, what the Secret Service will be using is they have very many number plates. Okay, so they will put a plate there that you cannot trace, but it is very rare to find. It should be very rare for you to find a car with no number plate at all. Yet every blessed day, it happens. The level of indiscipline in this country, and they're usually the elites. I saw one man going side by side with me. You know, there were so many traffic lights and we were meeting each other. I was giving him an eye, but he didn't understand. He thought I was admiring his car. God damn. I was shaking my head. The man would, I'm sure, if he does remember the man in the other car that was looking at it, because he kept wondering, what have I done? What's the problem? He already had the number plate, then he covered it. If you see any car and you are in a very safe place, please send the photograph. Let's put it on the social media. Let's begin to ridicule them. We've deviated with the second base.
You're giving him the eye, Abby.
I was giving him the eye. He thought that I was that man is calculating the inside motto. Sure. Second base.
Okay, let's take a look at this story here. It's on page 8 of the Vanguard. U.S. to Nigerians will prosecute, ban visa fraudsters from entry.
Well, let's go on to another story, because this is every day is a threat. Every day, I think, all said and done, we should learn to have pride in our own country. If these people, and I don't blame them, I don't blame them. We are the ones who think that next to heaven, going to America, there's no big deal, really, honestly. And it's becoming, every day there's a warning or an adjustment or this or that. Why tell us that we prosecute banned visa fraudsters? Prosecute them and get the hell out of the way. But let's talk about something else, Jack.
Yes, let's go and talk about something else.
Who put this one in the paper? No, I mean, we are being treated. It's becoming, jokes apart now, it's becoming a bit to say rude is the wrong word.
It's condescending.
It's very condescending.
It's
Every time
outright
you
condescending.
dish out instructions. I even saw a story here.
No regard whatsoever.
Part of the story here that said that the U.S. is happy. The U.S. commended the federal government over its efforts to resolve the recent visa validity. Left to me, we should lock ourselves up for 3-4 years and get our country together. Would they say the same thing of Chinese? It's because we have no pride.
Mm-hmm.
They have no pride, and we have so condescended to a point where I say that for some people, next to heaven, America is next.
That's right. For some people, majority of Nigerians.
This story is
Yes,
it's
juicy. It's very juicy.
This next one we have.
Yes, it's on page 30 of the Daily Trust. Nigerian officials, netizens down UK's Conservative Leader for misleading remarks on citizenship.
Yeah, Kemi Badenoch embarrasses me.
You saw the video. You saw how she.
It embarrassing me. But that me was on me. But that me was on. I did that at the night clinic on the Chile Road. I don't know what happened. And this is somebody who could jolly well be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Apart from the viciousness that she shows towards, initially I dismissed it as, oh, okay, that's our opinion. But increasingly, Nigeria is the example she always finds as bad behavior. In this case, she's even totally wrong. She asserted in public that, as a woman, she can't get Nigerian citizenship for her children. And it is wrong.
I mean,
because of time, we can't go into the full facts of the case. The 45-year-old woman who was born to Nigerian parents, she was born in the UK like I was born in the UK. So what? Hello, little twin. She has dual citizenship, man. Okay, so she's a politician and she wants to be a future prime minister. So what? You can jolly well get this thing done without running down your own people. And what are we talking about? I've been coming one, but it's just let me say it in English. It doesn't sound right. It's just something else. You know, and she said that I have Nigerian citizenship by virtue of my parents, but I can't give it to my children because I'm a woman. Whether she likes it or not, she's a Nigerian. Whether she gets whatever citizenship, she is a Nigerian. That's her primary whatever. That you were born in the United Kingdom and then they brought home, and you are a Tokumbo. So what? Do what?
Tokumbo.
Yes, sir. That's the origin of the word. If you see anybody Tokumbo, it means that you were born abroad. Okay? Oti Okumbo. But I'm not a Tokumbo. My elder sister is. God bless her soul.
Yeah,
and she says that yet loads of Nigerians, she said loads of Nigerians come to the UK and stay for a relatively free period of time acquiring citizenship. We may need to stop being naive. Who are the we? Second base, Jerry. Anyway, in the reply, she's been replied, the most logical, of course, Femi Falana. He read out the decrees, what the law says, and so on and so forth. But my good friend Bayo Ononuga has joined, he issued a statement. Bayo Ononuga is the spokesperson of the president. This woman made a remark in passing. He should have other things to do, but he joined the fray. And in joining the fray, he did something I warned about the other time, always trying to insult people in making an official. First of all, he didn't need to react to it. He didn't need to. I can say that for sure. He didn't need to react to it. But when he reacted, he said, Britain should send our lost daughter, Kemi Badenoch, home for a proper re-education. Bayo, you don't understand your job. And you don't seem to understand the height at which you should operate. This is not good enough coming from the spokesperson of the president. In the first instance, it's none of your business. You have other fishes to fry. It's not under your direct brief reaction to this. At the very most, it will be for the Ministry of Information.
Or Ambassador Tugar.
Ambassador Tugar. It falls under their purview. You are the spokes. This role has been demystified completely. This is not the legacy, the likes of Onobule, the Mioyo, and whatever. This is the. And I keep maintaining that a man is a first-class journalist. You can't take that away from him. But he doesn't understand this brief. He doesn't. And it should be guided. It's no insult. There are some things you understand, there are some things you don't understand. It should be guided before we rubbish the office of the presidency completely. This is not a criticism, this is an advice. It's an advice. Somebody needs to go in there and align. It's not so much about impressing your boss or impressing Nigerians or whatever. It's getting the job done properly and maintaining the decorum of the office of the presidency. You know, and anyway, all said and done, this is what we have here. It's a pity. It's a pity. But let me was
we have to go now. We must go.
Turning in his grave.
Yeah, but you're back at 9.
I'm back at 9. My guest didn't come on Saturday. The second one I hope will come today. We are still talking about the Isheshe versus Christianity, blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth.
All right, now that will be for 9 o'clock. Kofi is back with the morning crossfire. Stay here with us, please.
7 p.m. Don't knock, na yellow clock be that.
Yes, so better don't come as the MTN Mega Billion promo don't land and you're not.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.